Hey, my beloved, I'm here again. So today we're gonna be talking about self-worth. Remember, this is still the mindset shift series. We started with phase one, which is mindset, phase two, self-love, and phase three today we're talking about self-worth. So self-love and self-worth, they have a bit of similarities. So let's say self-worth is the evolution of self-love. So now let's dive deep and don't go anywhere. Now that you know your value, will your choice reflect it? So that's basically what self-worth is talking about. We talked about self-love, having to love ourselves, having to know our values, knowing who we are. And then self-worth actually questions it. So it's like, now that you know yourself, will your choice reflect who you are? It's more like a question that actually sits, this is a question we're supposed to ask ourselves. It's like, we know our value, we know our worth, but will our action actually, will our choice reflect it? And to be honest with you, I'm guilty. I know my value and I know my worth, and sometimes my choices do not reflect my value or my worth. One thing I had to learn is self-worth is the ability to act in alignment with your value. So, are you acting in alignment with your value? Or are you acting out of those values that you possess? I used to act like that. So sad. But I'm over it. So if you're still there, now is the time to be over it. So, the truth is, you can actually love yourself so much, know your value, know your worth, and still tolerate disrespect. Tolerate low standards, abandon your values, abandon your standards, stay in unhealthy relationships, stay in unhealthy situations. But why? Why are you doing all of that? I've been there too, and I'm asking myself why. Let's dive deep. One thing I had to learn is self-worth is where identity becomes behavior. So it's one thing to say you know yourself or you know your values, but does your choices reflect those values that you possess? Do they? Ask yourself. Me, I've answered, and I know my answer, but ask yourself, do those values that you possess, do your choices, those choices that you're making, do they reflect the values that you possess? Ask yourself. So let's dive deep into the topics of today. On phase one, we'll focus on 5 topics, which is knowing what you deserve, why desperation lowers standards, walking away from disrespect, building discipline and dignity, becoming the woman you admire. Oh, I cannot wait to dive deep into these topics. Now, let's start with knowing what you deserve. Do you know what you deserve? Or do you assume to know? Because a lot of people don't even know what they deserve, to be honest. Like, people actually do not know. I used to think that maybe people just pretend, you know? Because I pretend, not like I pretend, I act on it. Because, you know, when you live a life where you try to, you just want to make people happy, it's like you want to please people, you tend to just, you know what they're doing is wrong. You have to just like deal with it because, well, I already know that I want to just see the good in someone, right? But honestly, take people for who they are. Sometimes it's not like we don't know what we deserve, we do, but we are hoping that they can be better and they can change or do better. And this goes all the way to relationship, to friendship, to people, because I feel like the world is just filled with a lot of I don't know, but yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is sometimes we know what we deserve and then we have to settle because we want to see the best in people. We have to lower our standards because we want to see, we believe that they can be better. So it's not like we don't know what we deserve, we know, but we just hope that they can be better people. But I promise you for free, it doesn't end well. In fact, you're not going to go anywhere with that. Take it from me. Anyways, let's dive deep into this. Knowing what you deserve. A lot of people might love themselves, but they do not know what they deserve. Just like I said, ask yourself, do I actually know what elder treatment looks like? Now that's very important. Do you know what elder treatment looks like? Do you understand what it feels like to be in a healthy relationship? Many people don't struggle because they lack what? They struggle because they normalize less. They're talking to me. I'm talking to myself. To be honest with you, I don't struggle because I lack what? I used to struggle because I normalize less. And not because I don't know. I know. In my case, I know. I know what I deserve. But I just feel like maybe they would feel better. Maybe it helps people feel a lot better. But to be honest with you, it never does. You're only going to keep hurting yourself. And I was hurting myself all along. But not anymore. And you don't have to even be there. And if you're on this table, this is for you. I know this because I've been there, like I said, and maybe we all have, for some reasons best known to us. Not like we don't know what we deserve. We do know what we deserve, but maybe the closure, maybe the fact that we don't want to feel alone, we don't want to be alone, and then we become so vulnerable to understanding that this is less than we deserve. We deserve more than what we're getting. It could be the job, it could be the relationship, it could be the friendship, it could be whatever the case might be. But then we have to settle. But that's the case. That's me. What about you? Do you actually know what you deserve? Or are you like me who used to just settle for less because we just, we know what we deserve, but let's just settle. We don't have to live like that anymore because it's important for us to know what we deserve. To be honest with you, knowing what you deserve and aligning with those goals, that's the best thing ever. Because the moment you decide to shrink, the fact that you want to settle, you're just going to keep hurting yourself. Take it from me. I tell you for free. If you continue to live the life like you don't know what you deserve, or because you know what you deserve and you want to make people happy, or you want to see the good in people, you're going to continue to live a life that you do not deserve. You're going to keep hurting yourself. You're going to keep living in emotional pain. You're going to have to deal with the fact that, oh my God, what's going on? So that's not your space. You don't need to be in that environment. And it's okay to love yourself. You don't have to even try to give so much to people anymore. Focus on yourself and focus on your goal. It's okay. And I understand that sometimes it's lonely on the side, being alone, or not having so many people around. Get a job. It helps, I promise you. Have colleagues at work. It helps. That's way better than having to settle for less. I promise you. Now, knowing what you deserve is not entitlement at all. It is clarity. It is understanding that respect is not luxury. Honesty is not luxury. Consistency is not luxury. Kindness is not luxury. Now, let me expand it. Knowing what you deserve is not entitlement at all. It is clarity. It is understanding yourself. It is knowing that I know I deserve this and I'm not going to have to settle. Or rather, I know I deserve this and I'm done settling, just like me. I'm in a phase in my life whereby I know what I deserve. I've always known what I deserve and I've had to settle all my life, but I'm done with that life. I'm not going to do that anymore because at the end of the day, I keep hurting myself in the process of having to settle. So now I'm saying to myself that I'm not going to do that anymore. And I know that what I deserve is not entitlement. So if a man is going to come in my space and try to make it feel like, yo, why are you trying to... I know who I am and I know what I deserve. It's just clarity of knowing, right? It's not an entitlement. So for anyone that tries to make you feel like because you know what you deserve and they think that you're entitled or they think that you're, I don't know, I can't explain it. That's not where you should be. It's okay, pack your bag and go. Pack your bag and leave. Or rather, don't even entertain such conversation because they will never be able to understand. You're the one that you as a person knows what you deserve. You know what you deserve. So why are you then stressing yourself over someone that don't even know what you deserve? And then they'll just think you're entitled. No. Understand that knowing what you deserve is different from entitlement. A lot of people are entitled truly. But when you know what you deserve, you understand, and the people around you also understand that this is who she is, this is what she deserves. She deserves to be treated this way. She deserves all of these things. It doesn't mean she's entitled. I mean, I'm a woman who works so hard. I've got my own job. I pay my own bills. So I definitely know what I deserve. If I say I don't want to settle for this, or I don't want to have to lower my standards, I definitely know what I deserve. It doesn't mean I'm entitled. Now, respect is not luxury. Do you understand? Let me give for instance. This one is very important for me because listen, there's so many relationships that you're gonna be in, right? Oh, first of all, in our current era, we get in a relationship. Oh, nice. The guy, he drives a nice car, he has a nice house, it's well to do, he looks good, or whatever the case might be. But you realize that there's no respect. Because for every time that you think that, oh, he's well to do, I'm comfortable, why not? Don't tell me, oh, I'm quite single, and then a friend will tell me, why don't you just have a man take care of you? Why are you trying to stress yourself? I'm like, my dear, I'm okay. I mean, it's way better than having to settle for disrespect and all of that, you know? And you see that a lot of these men, most of them with money, they have money, they have a lot, they can make you comfortable, do all of those things, but then they don't respect you. So why? You don't think, I know what I deserve. I deserve a man that will respect me, a man that will also be a provider, that will do literally everything for me, and still love me. Because you know how God loves me? God loves me so much, knowing that I know, I already have in the back of my mind that I'm gonna be a successful woman, with or without a man. That's already a mindset, right? So why then do I have to settle with a man that would not respect me because he has money? And my friend would tell me, I beg, forget respect. Comfort is important. With the economy is bad. A lot of young girls have to settle for disrespect just to get comfortable. I mean, it's just about using your senses. You know, you have to be a fool to get what you want. It's fine. Me, I don't have to be a fool to get what I want in that kind of scenario, because you're gonna be with a man that do not love you, even if they claim to love you. But a man that does not respect you does not love you. So you're gonna be in that situation with a man that, in most cases, most of the women who get violated today, or abused, or some of them even get killed. Most of them get killed by their partner, by their exes, by people they lay with. So imagine having to be in a space with a man that is naturally does not respect you, that is naturally disrespectful, and you want to keep taking with all the disrespect. A time will come when you're done. A time will come when you're just tired. Like the finances does not cut it anymore because the disrespect is too much. I don't want to be in that space. Do you understand? And it's okay if you can deal with it. But I'm telling you for a fact that as human beings, as women, we can do great things. We just have to think. The same men that are making it, it's not the same brain that we have. What makes you think that you cannot empower yourself? What makes you think you can't do things for yourself? Why? Why do you think the end goal is to find a man that has money and just settle down with him and be comfortable? I get it. But with disrespect, I don't think that's the way to go. It's okay if the man loves you, you're just a princess and you don't have to deal with all of the disrespect. He treats you like an angel. Why not, sister? You're lucky. I love it for you. But when it comes to a space where your peace of mind is questioned, your mental health is questioned, baby girl, what are you doing to yourself? Because of money? Money? Hey! Do you understand that riches is something that as a human being on earth, as long as you have the mind to think about it, you can actually make a lot of money. You just have to have a goal. You would realize that this man that you're settling with, it's not like there's anything binding, or there's no bond. The only bond is the money. And that's why you see in most relationships today, when the man becomes broke, the relationship struggles. I mean, even if there was love, to be honest, if a man becomes broke today, the relationship might still struggle. But if there was a foundation, that there was a strong foundation that started the relationship, it will be difficult for a relationship to just break because of finance. I believe that they will be willing to work together, because listen, when a man is financially down, right, a good man, it's very rare to see a good man who is down and the woman wouldn't be able to support, because the man is a good man. He's been able to empower this woman. Let's say, she's a woman who who has nothing. She got married to a wealthy man. He empowered her. It will be difficult for a man who goes down for the wife to go down, because when he was wealthy, he wasn't just stingy. He was empowering his wife. And now they can come together and build. And guess what? Women know how to handle money more than men. To be honest with you, that's what I think. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day, and I might be wrong. Listen, this is a safe space where we are learning together. Okay, so yeah. A lot of people are so used to the fact that when someone starts to respect them, they think that, oh my god, that's a big deal, that's luxury. No, when you know what you deserve, you realize that all these things are basic. As a woman of value, respect should be something that comes naturally. It shouldn't be an addiction to your worth or to what a man is giving to you. Honesty should also not be luxury. Consistency shouldn't be luxury, and kindness should not also be luxury. And guess what? Why I'm emphasizing on this is because a lot of people have struggled in their lives, because to be honest with you, they feel like they don't even know what they deserve. So when they see a man treated them nice, they just assume that, oh my god, this is amazing. Whereas they don't even know what they deserve. So, and all their life, because they don't know what they deserve, they've always settled for less, right? And now because they've settled for less all their life, even if somebody decides to respect them, they will think it's luxury. When a man is honest, they will think it's luxury. When someone is consistent with the love, they will think it's luxury. When a man is kind, they will think it's luxury. And guess what? I'm not going to act like I'm perfect here. I'm going to tell you a story. I met a lot of people in my life, they were not kind, right? I'm going to use my relationship, and that's why I'm single today. I've met a lot of men. To be honest with you, they were wealthy. They could have changed my life, and honestly, like my friends would say. Honestly, the only person that can change my life is God. But yeah, that's even a story for another day. But yeah, they could have done that, right? They had all the money, they would. But they were not kind. And I'm someone that I'm so moved by your heart. I'm moved by a man that has kindness. Because truly, when a man is kind, I go on a date with people. I've been on a couple dates. I've not had so many relationships, but I've gone on dates. And from 1 or 2 days, I just know that this person cannot, me and this person, we can't be together. People are not kind. They have money. Don't worry, money choke. But you see, kindness, they lack kindness. And I cannot be a woman. The way I am, I need a kind person. My partner has to be kind. So that's why you see it's a lot for me. So with all the money, with all the luxury they want to give me, if you're not kind, I would run. I'm sorry. I know you're wealthy. Whoever, if you are watching this right now, I know you're wealthy. I know you could have done the best for me. I know you could have given me the world, like you would say. But I would run because you're not kind. People who are not kind, there's no way I can stay. I wouldn't last in that kind of relationship. And that's why I got in a relationship one time, and this guy was so kind. It was not the best partner, to be honest. In fact, it was not close to being the best partner. It was a terrible lover. It was a terrible partner, in fact. But he was kind, and because he was kind, I mistook his kindness for, what's the word? For love. Maybe he loved me, maybe, I don't know, but he was just naturally a kind person, because I have not met kind people. All the men I've met, not so many, I've not met many, I've not dated many people anyways, but like the few people I've met in my life, they were not kind. So when I met this guy, he was so kind. Like, it wasn't about what he did for me, it was the reflection of his own life, the way he treats people, his workers, his staffs. I saw so much kindness. I was so attracted to this person. I had a bond with him that I didn't even realize that I was settling. And that was the last relationship I had. And this was way back, and I said to myself that I'm done. I wouldn't do this again. But that relationship taught me, it made me understand that, kindness is not luxury. This guy was so kind that I thought that, oh my God, this is the one. But he was a terrible lover, but he was a kind dude. He was a good man, but it was not the best partner. And I need people to understand that kindness is not luxury. As a woman, when you know what you deserve, you understand that all of these things are the basic things that you deserve, because me as a person, I'm kind, and I believe you're also kind. So if you're kind, you're consistent, you have respect for yourself, you are honest, you also deserve someone who also possess those same values as you. And then an addiction to how they treat you is now up to the man. So yes, kindness is not luxury. And do not mistake kindness for luxury. Do not mistake kindness for love. People are kind, but it doesn't mean that they love you. They are just naturally good people. They're just kind. So don't come and pack yourself because you've not met anyone kind in a long time, or even before. You meet a kind guy who is a good man, and you just assume that, oh, this guy loves you. Ugh. You'll be fooling yourself, because at the end of the day, you start struggling. Don't be like me. I've struggled before, and honestly, I don't want anyone to be in that space where you would think that because this guy is kind, you just assume that he loves you. No. So know what you deserve. Make sure you do. Always know what you deserve. What you think that you deserve, make sure that it's what you're accepting. In fact, what I go by right now is I know what I deserve, and I expect that if I'm going to be with anyone, they need to give me more than what I deserve, more than what I know that I deserve. And I believe that everyone should have that kind of mindset as a woman, because if you know what you deserve, you know who you are. If you're going to be with somebody, there should be an addiction to what you already have. It always needs to be an addiction, or you guys can meet yourself halfway, which is fair enough. It's okay. But having to settle, having to lower your standards, you're going to cry. You cry shaggy, and I don't want you to cry. So here's the shift. You cannot ask for what you believe you don't deserve. So regardless, remember you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That's a Bible verse, yes. And that's in Psalm 139:14. Remember always that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image and likeness. So when you think like that, automatically you know that if you are a child of God, as a woman who knows that she is wonderfully and fearfully made, automatically you already carry something of value. That means I am wonderfully and fearfully made. Automatically, I know that's who I am now, right? Fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, what do I deserve? As a woman who's wonderfully and fearfully made, why do I have to settle for a man that is only going to disrespect me? Do you think God will be happy with you? Ask yourself. No, let's ask ourselves, do you think God is going to be happy with you? No. So, for every time you want to settle for less, always remember you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Thank you. You were created with value before anyone formed an opinion about you. Remember that. So even when they try to humble you or they try to break you, always remember that you were created with value before anyone formed an opinion about you. So it's important to know what you deserve. So the second topic on self-worth is why desperation lowers standard. So let's ask ourselves this together. Why do people accept less than they deserve? You see what I was trying to say? I've been there. I've accepted less than I deserve. I feel like all my life I've accepted less than I deserve. And that's why this journey is so important to me, because I had the shift to understand that I'm never gonna be the same girl that I used to be before. And I'm starting to learn that it's okay. If you cannot meet me up here, that's on you. I'm never going to lower my standards for anybody again. I'm just done with that life. So, why do people accept less than they deserve? One thing I had to learn is desperation makes people negotiate their standards. Not because they don't know better, because they are afraid of. Remember what I said before? Being alone, starting over, missing opportunities, losing people, or for their own personal interest. So, why do you accept less? Let's ask yourself, why do you accept less than you deserve? In my own case, I used to accept less than I deserve because I just always wanted people to feel better. I wanted people to see that it's okay, I can love you. I'm not too much for you. Even if I know that I'm way too much for you, right? But I always feel a need to make people feel seen, you know, like I just want, I believe in equality, I believe in love. So I always just want to make people feel like it's okay. You can actually be with a woman like me and it's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm always settling, I'm always lowering my standard. And it comes back to bite me. When I say bites me, you know how you think about something and you're like, So it's even this, you now start thinking, you wonder like, yo, I'm never gonna do this again. So in my case, I had to lower my standards. I had to accept less than I deserved, not because I didn't know, but because I wanted people to feel better. I wanted you to feel better. I wanted him to feel better. I wanted her to feel better. I wanted her to feel comfortable about herself. So sometimes I had to shrink. Sometimes I had to just accept less than I deserve. But that's not the way to go. So ask yourself, why do you accept less than you deserve? Is it because you don't want to be alone? I just told you why I used to, but not anymore. So now let's ask you, is it because you don't want to be alone? Is it because you're afraid of starting over? Is it because you don't want to miss opportunities? Is it because you're afraid of losing people? Or is it for your own personal interest? Because I know a lot of people that accept less than they deserve because of their own personal interest, and honestly, that's on you. But we don't need that. We are made of more. It's okay if people are not up to your standards. It's okay if they're not, you don't have to always compromise for people. You don't have to always do all that. It's never the right way. I promise you. I've done that all my life, and I can tell you for free that it doesn't take you anywhere. Having to shrink for people so they can feel better about themselves, because naturally you intimidate people. My dear, you will shrink and shrink and shrink, yet people will still feel intimidated by you, and they would want to constantly humble you so you can lose yourself. You don't want to be in that space, I promise you. So stop accepting less than you deserve. Don't do that anymore. If that's what you used to do, you don't need that anymore. It's time for you to start choosing yourself. It's time for you to start aligning with your purpose. It's time for you to start aligning with only the things that you deserve or more. It can only be on the same level or more, not beneath. Because if it's beneath, you're going to suffer. I'm telling you for free because I've been there and I suffered. Now, let's say something together. Some people will say that something is better than nothing. It's more like saying at all, na in bad pass. And so that's why we have to settle for less than we deserve, because first of all, okay, economy is quite bad. So what do I do? Do I come and kill myself? I can't do this alone. So I need to just find somebody. That's most people's case. Something is better than nothing. At least I have something. At least I have a shoulder to lie on. At least I have someone to talk to. At least I have, and I understand. So that's what I'm saying. If that's your reason, your personal interest, okay, but on the long run, is this sustainable? On the long run, are you happy? Because you believe that something is better than nothing. No, that's you not even, that's limitation. I'm sorry, but please, you need to stop. You don't think like that. You can't keep settling for less because at all na in bad pass. People say that a lot. They say it like a joke, but honestly, majority of people live like that. But we can be better, don't you think so? Don't you think so? I understand the economy is bad. I understand that we don't want to be alone. I understand that it's lonely on the other side. But even if you're with someone and then your sanity is questioned, your sanity is questionable, don't you think that you're better off alone still? Because at the end of the day, you're settling for less than you deserve. When you settle for less, don't you think that it's actually like your mental health is at stake? Because mine was at stake. All the times I had to settle for less, I was not okay. I had to struggle mentally. And every time I had to say, okay, let me just pretend to be a fool. Let me just act like a fool. I couldn't pretend. I was mentally gone. So when people have to deal with that and they live like that, it just shows that a lot of people don't love themselves. It shows that people are desperate. They don't care. And it's sad. We have a lot of people who are desperate. But we don't have to live like that. We don't need that. Look at what the Lord is saying to us in Isaiah 41 verses 10. He says that, fear not, for I am with you. So even if you have to, like you said, you have to settle for less because you don't want to be alone because of this, da. When you have the mindset shift, understanding that God, the greatest mindset shift starts with God, and understanding that God is telling you in His word that you should fear not, I am with you. So fear not even be alone. Fear not doing all of this by yourself. Fear not staying alone, because God is with you. So all those time that you feel like you need somebody, which is fair, but we all need someone, don't get me wrong, but not at the cost of your mental health. A lot of people are in a space whereby their mental health is sad, is sickening, like they've lost themselves completely. But guess what they live by? At all, naim bad pass. At least something is better than nothing. Whereas God is telling you that you should fear not, He is with you. Yet you still believe that something is better than nothing, which is fair enough. But at your mental state, your mental health, you're losing yourself. People are depressed because they're desperate, and that's not the way to go. So there's something I want to read out. It says that wrong things cost more than empty spaces. What do you understand by that? When you're desperate for attention, love, success, or acceptance, you stop choosing, you start settling. And that's what I'm saying. Because you're desperate for love, you're desperate for attention, you don't want to be alone. Instead of being in a space that is worthy of you, you start to settle. Trust me, you don't want to live like that. You don't want to continue to live like that. If you are living like that, please, now it's time to stop. I'm building a community where we can all be together. Like, when you understand that we're on earth to actually serve God, you start to put yourself first. You put God first and you come next. I promise you, it changes everything. God is telling us that we should fear not, for I am with you. Isaiah 41:10. Many desperate decisions are fear-based decisions. I promise you. Every decision that you're making, the desperate ones, they are decisions that is based off of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being accepted. Fear of doing this by yourself. Fear of this, fear of... No. And that's because you don't even know. Because you cannot have the mindset shift which starts with God and be scared of being alone, when God have told you that fear not, for I am with you. So what are you saying? I beg you, please, we don't need that anymore. You don't have to be scared of being alone, of being by yourself. It's okay. God will always send the right one for you. But if you've already filled up your space with toxicity, with chaos, how then do, even when God sends the right one, where's the space for the right one to come and stay when your mind is already occupied with all the toxic traits because of your desperation, because of your fear of not being alone? So you settle. So in the time you're supposed to use to wait to even find yourself and love yourself and open up for something good, you're using that space. That space is already filled up with toxicity, it's already filled up with fear. A lot of people go into relationship, and as soon as they are done with that relationship, they are moving into one. Just like me, I feel like all my life, I'm sorry, but like, I was in a relationship. Now this is the time that I'm single. I feel like I've never been single. This is the only time that I'm single. When I started dating at 22, yeah, I do long-term relationship. I have, like I said, I have to settle and just, but I'm done with that life, right? Not like I didn't know my worth. I always did, but most people I dated, they were naturally intimidated by me. So I had to always shrink to make them feel comfortable, to feel like it's okay. It's like I had to lower my standards. But I'm not doing that anymore. And I could have left, and I feel like I don't know, but yes, eventually I do. I eventually did leave. I always do at the end of the day, because I could have left earlier. That's the point I'm trying to make. Instead of wasting all this time knowing that they were never going to change, they were always going to be the same person. They were all naturally intimidated by me. So what was I thinking, that they were going to get better? That's the mistake I made. Thinking that people would change, thinking that they would get better, thinking that there would be a time where they would not want to humble me. Like, there'll be a time where they will stop being intimidated by me. And that's what happens when you lower your standards. So always date people that are on your level or above your level. It's always better that way. I promise you. Take it from me. So I beg you, do not lower your standards. All the time I've been in a relationship, before you know it, I want to date someone else again. I'm quick. As soon as I'm leaving this one, I'm entering the next relationship. So say I did this person for like 4 years, the next relationship 2 years, or because think about like 3 relationships, like serious relationship that I can count. It's been like that. No space to even love myself, no space to find time for myself, no space to actually focus on me. And a lot of people do that. I don't know if it's the fear of being alone, maybe, but we don't need that. God is telling us that, fear not, for I am with you. So why then do you need to settle or be with someone that would only make you shrink and shrink and shrink, and then you lose yourself? A beautiful woman like you, a woman with so much intelligence, so much beauty, a woman who is made of more. You don't need all that. The next topic I'll be talking about is walking away from disrespect. Now, this is very important, because with all of the relationship, or with, I love to use relationship, because I feel like when God made Adams, God knew that he needed Eve, Adam and Eve. So that's a bond, man and woman relationship, two coming together, union. So I would always take it back to relationship, because I feel like we're just 2 species, 2 gender, male, or whatever the gender is right now, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that we're 2. It was Adam and Eve before whatever happens. And as Adam and Eve, they had to come together, right? So that's why for this walking away from disrespect is going to be centered around, relationship, situationship, friendship. It's going to be centered around ship coming together, a union. So walking away from disrespect, right? Why do we stay where we are not valued? Why do you stay where you're not valued? Ask yourself that. I've asked myself and I've answered. Why do I stay where I'm not valued? I'm not there anymore. I'm a single woman now. I'm talking to you. So why do you stay where you are not valued? Why? I know that walking away is easier said than done. I totally understand. I've been there, But one thing I had to learn is walking away sounds easy until emotions are involved. So people can say, oh, it's walk away now. But I remember this time I read the news, it was a girl, an abuser. Her abuser was a partner, right? Her husband, she'd been married to this man for a long time, and she had kids. And you would ask her, so why couldn't you just walk away? Like, you're not happy. You're going through so much. This man hurts you every day. There's no love. You've never been happy. Your kids have never seen you happy, right? So why do you have to go through all of these things? Why are you staying in that relationship? Why? Like, why? And I understand that walking away is easier said than done. Walking away sounds easy until emotions are involved. And that's the crazy part about it. People stay because of history, attachments. They believe that hope exists. They believe that change is possible, which is cool. But in situations like this, like a relationship where a man already, you're not happy, right? This man does not love you. Or rather, maybe you claim he loves you, but you are not happy. You guys fight all the time. He abuses you. Today you're going to the hospital for... It's just absurd. So you want to ask yourself, so why do these people stay? How can you be staying in a relationship that is abusive, a relationship where this person hurts you? But you realize that it's easier said to walk away, but it's not as easy when emotions are involved. And people stay back because of the bond they share, Some would stay because of the kids. Excuses are, we have children together. I don't want to raise my child in a home where it's just me. And I understand that sacrifices women have to make because of their kids. Fair enough. Maybe. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't judge anyone for the decisions that they make, right? People stay because of the history they have. People stay because they believe that hope exists. And just like me, I always believe that hope is possibilities where there seems to be no, is believing that tomorrow is going to be better, right? But when it comes to people, you can't actually change people. I think that's the mistakes majority of people are making. You can't change people. You can't tell people how to act. People know exactly what they are doing when it comes to like an intention, something that is with intent, because they've thought about it. They already thought about it before doing these things. So when you think that hope is gonna get better, a man who beats you will beat you again because you allow it. At this point, that is you not loving yourself. That is you settling for disrespect. So it's important to walk away from disrespect. I know it's hard, I know it's easy, but the strongest force when you get that shit is knowing that regardless of everything, regardless of the history, regardless of the bond, you are able to walk away from disrespect. That makes you a powerful woman. That makes you strong. And guess what? The fact that you've walked away from disrespect, you're showing God that you love yourself, because God loves you. God will not beat you. God will not punish you like that. God will not. Do you think that God is happy when he sees that he loves you so much and you allow yourself to be mishandled by a man, to be beaten like a punching bag by a man? You think he's going to be happy? No. But the moment you walk away, that's the power in you, that's the strength, that quiet strength. You walk away from that situation. Because I know it's not easy. But the moment you walk away is what makes you strong. God does not sleep. He's going to send you someone. You just have to believe it, because if you can think about it, you can attain it. You just have to believe that you are a woman. You have to believe that, yes. Why do you think, what do you think is the difference with a woman that leaves a relationship? I know a woman that have left a relationship, and she's leaving that relationship, she's going into another one. If the one does not favor her, she's going. You think those ones have two heads? The point I'm trying to make is that it's the mindset. They believe that they are good enough. They believe that they know what they deserve. So if a man does not treat them right, they are quick to walk away. And that's why you see there's a lot of, I think it's just this part of the world, because in the Western world, they are quick. It's gonna be rare to even, with the abuse and the domestic violence, I know it's everywhere in the world, but people are quick to just move on compared to this side of the world where we have to make excuses for abuse, we make excuses for, and I don't blame anyone. I feel like it's our generation, it's what we watch growing up. I used to watch my neighbor. Abuse and all of those things were normal things. That's something that they were used to. So this is a part of where we're from, but it ends with you. You can make a change. You can decide to walk away from disrespect. You can say to yourself that I'm a child of God, God loves me, and I'm deciding to walk away from disrespect. In this Bible verse, it says, in Proverbs 22, 24 to 25, it says, do not make friends with a bad-tempered person. That is in the Bible. It's not me saying it all. It's in the Bible. Proverbs 22, 24 to 25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. So here's the shift. The strongest boundaries is the willingness to leave. Do you know what that means? Knowing that with everything that you have built together with this person, with the history, you're willing to leave because why? You're walking away from disrespect. You're walking away because this does not serve your purpose anymore. It's not better for you to be single than for a man to beat you to death. I've seen a lot of cases of women that didn't make it out alive. A man can decide to can punch you, and that's the end. Abuse. God also says in his word, do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Friends, then you go ahead and marry someone who's an abuser. That means you're already disobeying God. But people don't even see it like this. We all don't see it like this. But it's all in the Bible. So you now expect that you've married someone who's an abuser. He beats you the first time, and you think he won't beat you again. A man that beats you the first time and you stay, he's gonna beat you again. I've had a friend tell me that, man beat her one time, but it was a mistake. It was the devil, and since then, he has not laid his hands on her. I said, okay, maybe because you threatened to leave, and for him, he was scared, and he has not done it again. Me, I don't believe he's not going to do it again. No. That's why I told her, because I believe strongly that if a man beats you the first time, he's going to beat you again and again and again and again and again until you lose yourself and you're done. And that's on period. Because guess what? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know, maybe tomorrow when he's punching you, that's when your life goes. That's when it's done for you. I pray to God that God gives us the strength and the grace to walk out of disrespectful relationship. Give us the strength to walk away from abuse, from disrespect, from things that do not serve our soul and our purpose. In Jesus' name, amen. We're coming to a close gradually. The next topic is building discipline and dignity. Building discipline and dignity. Discipline is a form of self-worth. That's something that I go by. When you're disciplined, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't do. Because you're a disciplined person, the way your friend lives her life is going to be different the way you live your life because of your perspective, because of the way that you think. And that's why I have a lot of friends that I used to have a lot of friends that our goals are totally different. The way that we see things are totally different. And because of that, the relationship do not go forth. It's very difficult for the relationship to go beyond what I would expect it to go. Now, the question is, can I trust myself? Ask yourself this. Can I trust myself? Say it to yourself. Can I trust myself? One thing I had to learn is self-worth isn't only how others people treat you. It is how you show up for yourself. Discipline is self-respect repeated. Every time you keep your word, honor your commitment, show up consistently, that's discipline. So if I say to myself today that I'm not going to do this, this is not what I do. This is, as a woman of value, this is not what I would do. This is not my core values as a woman. I'm not going to do this. That's already self-discipline. That's you honoring your word. This is keeping to your word. So regardless of what happens, even if you meet a friend today, if someone like you who already is disciplined, it will be hard for you to be intimidated by your peers. It will be hard for you to be influenced by your peers, because confidence is built through promises kept to yourself. So when you say to yourself that, oh, I'm not going to do this, or just like me, oh, I'm celibate, I don't want to be in a relationship right now, I want to be with someone that aligns with my values. That's already me making a promise to myself, saying that, oh, this is what I'm doing for my life right now. I'm setting my goals. This is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. If this does not align with my purpose or my goals, I have no point being with this person. So confidence is built through promises kept to yourself. So you need to start promising yourself. You need to start saying that, oh, today, call yourself by your name. I, Anita, I'm not going to do this. This is what I deserve. This is what I'm doing. That's how you build discipline. That's how you build discipline and dignity. Because guess what? Your self-worth, your self-dignity is important. I know people will say that, oh, I beg, nobody cares about that. Oh, that's a lie. Oh. Maybe nobody cares, but you as a person, you know who you are. You know how God sees you. Do you understand? So do things diligently. So it's important to love yourself. It's important to be disciplined. Self-dignity, I know they tell you, oh, nobody pays you for being disciplined, or you don't get a dime for being disciplined. Trust me, it takes you. You might not get a dime. You might not get paid for being disciplined. But because you're disciplined, you know who you are. It builds your confidence. It helps you stay guided. That's what discipline does, and dignity. When you are disciplined and you have dignity, wow. Do you know what it means? You stay guided, you stay grounded. No one can come and tell you otherwise. You live a life knowing that you can and you will. And that's one thing about discipline, building discipline and dignity. And I hope that everyone can actually build that, because it's important for everyone to actually be disciplined and also have self-dignity. That takes you everywhere, and it takes you far. It takes you further in life. The last topic we'll be discussing on self-worth is becoming the woman you were meant to be. Now, ask yourself, who am I becoming? What kind of woman must I become to create the life that I want or to create the life that I desire? It shouldn't be what do I achieve, what do I own, who notices me. No, not that. Your goal should be, how do I think? How do I carry myself? How do I love? How do I lead? And how do I serve? You don't become her overnight, you become her through daily choices. One decisions, one bound, one habit, and one act of courage. So, the woman that you admire is built through the choices you make when nobody is watching. Romans 12:2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation is a process. So when you ask yourself, who am I becoming? What kind of woman must I become to create the life that I desire? You want to dive deep into how you think, how you carry yourself, how you love, how you lead, how you serve. Because all of these things is what sum up the woman that you're going to be or the woman that you're becoming. So it starts with you. It starts with your mind. It starts with that transformation. The woman you admire is built through the choices you make when nobody is watching. So what are your choices when nobody is watching? What are you doing for yourself? How do you love? How do you think? How do you carry yourself when nobody is watching? How do you lead? How do you serve? How do you actually think? All of these things are questions you ask yourself. Those are questions that build up the woman that you want to be, the woman you admire to be, the woman you're meant to be, you're becoming. Because at the end of the day, it takes the transformation process. Your mind needs to be transformed first to now think about the woman you want to be. It's like, oh, I know I want to be a woman of value. You see someone that you admire and you look at her traits, like, what are the things that she's doing? I love her. I love the way she carries herself. You ask yourself, how do I carry myself when no one is watching? How do I love? How do I lead? And how do I serve? And that sums up the woman that you're meant to be. It starts from there. It starts with you, your mind. Those little things that you think are nothing. All of those things put together is what sums up the woman you're meant to be. So, this brings us to the end of this phase on self-worth. And this is phase 3. I cannot wait to dive into phase 4. So I hope that someone has been blessed today by these conversations that we're having. Remember, this is a safe space where we are learning together and we're growing together. So send me a DM, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know what you're struggling with. I am always here to help you. Bye. I'll see you next time.